Hi parents, this is Dr. Zam. Welcome to the first video of the series on primary math word problems made easy for parents. In this video, we'll be looking at the introduction part 1. Now, before I even cover the contents of the course, I would like to let you know my motivation in creating the course for parents in the first place. So why this course? Well, let me tell you the story of a mother's WhatsApp message. About 1.5 months ago, I received a WhatsApp message from a mother. She saw a word problem online, a problem sum, a question online, and she wanted help from me. So I've been answering questions, for parents or even students on a wide range of topics for different subjects. So in particular, this parent actually messaged me a word problem, and she was asking me whether it's a common question in PSLE, and she asked, "Is it true?" Well, it is true to a certain extent that the question she messaged me was a common question in PSLE. So what happened next was, of course, I told her I'm gonna work out the solution for her, and I'm gonna provide it to her. So she was telling me she doesn't even know what to do with the question. So she was asking me to help her. So about 30 minutes later, I gave her the question, the solution, and I posted it on my Facebook page as well. So what was surprising was I thought at least with the solution she could understand, but she told me even in the first step she couldn't understand. So she was asking me, like, how do I know that 1 unit is 24 chocolates? So that was when I realized that probably even parents might not know unit modeling, and students in school, they have already started learning unit modeling. So I was trying to explain to her, and this mother, she was so passionate about maths problem because she really wanted her daughter to do really well in her math. So she wanted to see me tomorrow because her daughter's session was the next day, and she wanted to come 15 minutes earlier so that I could explain it to her. But I know even if she gave me 15 minutes, it will not be easy to explain to her because of the fact that she needed to know about unit modeling. So I was telling her she needs to read up about it first. Then suddenly I realized probably it's better if she actually discuss it with her daughter Danisha, because I know Danisha would understand the basics of unit modeling. So what happened was she did ask her daughter. And the next day she told me, yeah, she sat down with her daughter and they managed to understand the problem and they could solve it based on the solution I gave them. And she gave me a thumbs up. So I was glad that when the child and the mother came together, they managed to solve the problem, which I thought was wonderful. And then a few days later, around the same time, I read online that parents go for tuition to help their kids. Right? And then there's this mother, a diploma holder. She sent her son to a tuition center because the son failed the mathematics mid-year exam, and then she joined the parenting workshop. So she was saying that she couldn't help him with his work, especially in math, because the methods she used to solve questions during her days were not up to date. So she started to understand the son's challenges with math, and now she could help him rather than just nagging at him, thinking that the child is probably lazy, or thinking that the child is not motivated, or thinking that the child doesn't want to do homework, or thinking the child is not paying attention in class. Right? So the truth is, MOE has changed the primary math syllabus since 2006. Right? So this change in the PSL mathematics is actually very crucial, right? And very significant. That is the reason why many parents could not cope in even helping their own children. So basically all these factors made me want to create a course especially for parents, right? So what happened was I put this question on Facebook and then I gave a solution, and now a father actually commented that he had migraines just reading the problem. Then I realized that this is a big problem. Why is it not possible for parents, to be updated with the methods that the children are learning in school for their maths word problems? And many students do not do well in their maths word problems, and that's the reason why they fail their math. 60%, at least 60% of the exam paper is based on word problems. All right, so this is the exact question that the mother gave. So if you want, I can read it to you and probably you can figure it out yourself, or probably you've seen it around. Mom opened a packet of chocolates for her two girls, Abby and Nat. Both girls grabbed the chocolates. When Abby noticed that she had more chocolates, she gave 15 chocolates to Nat so that both of them would have an equal number of chocolates. Later, Nat decided to return 12 chocolates to Abby as she felt that Abby deserved the chocolates for her quick reaction. As a result, Nat had only two-thirds of Abby's chocolates. How many chocolates had Nat at first? So when the mother actually sent this message to me through WhatsApp, I told her it's a very wordy word problem. So I suspected that the likelihood of this problem being in PSLE is quite low because it's a very wordy question. And that is the reason why the father commented on Facebook that he could even have migraines. He had migraine just trying to understand the problem. So, in a way, I told myself that I needed to come up with a course for parents, which is easy for them to understand, which is useful, which is practical. Why would parents burn their weekends and then they have to squeeze every single thing in such short duration of the course? So that's the reason why I've created this course based on a problem-based learning. This course will take you through the entire um, modules or components that you need to know. And I will use it based on a problem-based learning approach. Yes, I'm so sorry. I didn't put my phone on silent mode, right? So just like any parent, what I've just encountered is so true about all parents. We have so many things going on. Sometimes we really want to do so much for our kids, but it's just that we cannot have enough time. And when we want to go for courses, they are not so flexible. And the amount of things that we have to learn is in just one day, and we have to learn everything that a child learns over 4 years. How is that possible? That's the reason why I have combined all the different methods in learning online together with what I know in mathematics teaching and also word problems. And I combine them together in an email-based course, which should be delivered to you through emails over 14 days. And I break up the materials in at least 9 to 10 parts. So these modular parts will help you to pace yourself. And the good thing about videos is you can take a look at it again, right? So this course on top of this video, make sure you download the printables, right? So most of the time, I'll be using this problem-based learning so that you can actively learn and apply. And most importantly, I want you to feel that you're an effective parent. You don't, I mean, no parent want to look at the child being helpless. You want to do something for the child. You send that child for tuition, but is it enough? Of course, the answer is it's not enough. The child needs homework, needs to do his homework. And when he does his homework, he needs help, you know. And he has homework every day, especially during PSLE at primary 6. He will have lots and lots of homework. I know of a student who has so much homework that he just doesn't know what to do. So the mother keep WhatsApping me the pictures after pictures of the child's homework because the child's totally lost. But thank goodness, after 1 month, that child has more and more confidence in doing the homework. So these are the reasons why I feel that I needed to create this course. All right. So in this topic, right, in this segment, video segment, I'm going to touch about the problem solving method or the model that MOE Singapore has used for primary math. And that problem solving method is known as Polya problem solving method or Polya, right? So what is this Polya or Polya? So Polya is this man here. He was the one who came up with the strategies, or rather the way of how we can help to solve problems. He is actually a mathematician professor from Hungary, and he wrote this very, very famous book, How to Solve It. So in this book, essentially what he did was he was teaching teachers how to teach students to solve mathematical problems, right? And in that book, he actually covered 4 basic principles of problem solving. So I'm going to go through with you these 4 basic principles of problem solving. So before we even touch on the word problem, I want you to understand the model, right? The framework that the schools are using to help your children solve problems, in particular mathematical problems, in the form of word problems, right? The first Polya's first principle is to understand the problem. If you notice, just now I was talking about a father who commented on Facebook. He couldn't even understand the problem. He was even having migraines, right? So Polya actually taught the teachers to ask students these questions. So please take note when you're looking at a problem. Do you understand all the words used? Right? Sometimes we do not understand the words used. Sometimes it could be a language problem, right? Probably your child has not been able to read well enough or understand through reading the words. Then the next question you should ask is, what are you asked to find or show? Right? You need to know what is it that they're asking you to find or show. And then the next question you should ask is, can you restate the problem? Can you say out the problem or read out the problem again in your own words? And then the next question is, can you think of a picture or a diagram that might help you understand the problem? So Polya actually suggested for the student to think visually. Can they represent the problem in a visual form such that the child can understand the problem? Lastly, the question is there enough information to enable you to find a solution? So this is the part where when you try to answer these questions, you become better and better at understanding the problem, and you will know what the problem is asking you to find or show. And the next thing you need to find out is to see whether the word problem itself have enough information to enable you to find the solution. So remember this when you are trying out the word problem that the mother had WhatsApp me. Make sure you refer to that. All right, you can actually print this down. Okay, print it out, download the printables and print the word problem out and try to apply it by asking yourself these questions. So when you ask these questions yourself and when you're doing it with your kids, remember to ask them these questions as well. Right? You could do it together with them. All right. So Polya's second principle or the second step is he said you have to come out with a plan. So after you understand the problem, what is it? You have to come out with a plan. So basically, he gave this list of strategies to solve problems. Basically, these strategies are a systematic way of solving a problem, right? Like guess and check. Let's say you put a certain number and then you check whether that number fits into the question. Look for a pattern, make an orderly list, draw a picture, eliminate possibilities, solve a simpler problem, use symmetry, use a model, consider special cases, work backwards, use direct reasoning, use a formula, solve an equation, be ingenious, just be creative, think out of the box. And I'm sure you know by now that all these strategies are also known as heuristics, right? So heuristics are actually strategies which allows you to solve a problem, right? So this list is a partial list of what Polya has come up with, and MOE in its primary math syllabus has come out with their own list of heuristics which are compulsory for the students to learn, right? So the third principle after you have planned out is to carry out the plan. Usually, this step is easier than devising the plan, right? All you need is care and patience, all right? And just make sure you have the necessary skills. Like, for example, the strategies that I showed you in the previous slide, you need to be able to know how to do all of those. And I will cover those in another segment, in another installment of the video series, right? And then once you have that plan, you have to persist with the plan. And if you do it and it doesn't seem to work, you have to change it to another plan. But you don't have to be misled, because this is how mathematics is done even by professionals. But it's not fair, because our students, when they are in examination conditions, they are given a very small amount of time, right? So these are time management is something that we have to think about when we are trying to solve problems, right? So the fourth and final step that Polya mentioned was to look back, to reflect, or to check, right? So what happened here is when the child is doing the word problems, the child is supposed to reflect and look back at what he or she had done and ask himself or herself what worked and what didn't. So it's basically it's for the child to keep learning. Keep learning the different skills and ask himself or herself what worked and what didn't work. So when you have more and more practice, it will enable you to predict what strategy to use for future problems. So this is the part where they say practice makes perfect. All right. And for me, I feel after you carry out the plan, after you do, all right, and then in the real examinations or even in your daily work, you have to check your answers. Many students, they tend to make careless mistakes, right? So that's the reason why I feel when you do word problems, you can also check, right? And all that I will cover in detail as we go through this entire course. So that is Polya model of problem solving. Let's recap, right? The first step is to understand. Remember the important questions to ask. If you can represent the word problem visually, then you should. The next step is for you to plan. So in order for you to plan, you need to know all the different strategies that are available. And you need to take a look at the question and ask yourself this sort of question: what is the step that I should do? So what's going to happen here is I'll be showing you all this in the next installment of the video series, and you will be able to apply all this more effectively when you learn all the different heuristics and even all the methods of non-routine word problems. Then of course, after you plan, the easier task is to carry it out, right? And then finally is to check or reflect. So when you take these 4 steps, your ability to solve problems get better and better, right? So what I want you to do now is to take a look at the problem, the word problem that the mother had shared with me over WhatsApp. And I want you to try to apply the 4 principles of Polya's problem-solving model. Number 1, understand and ask yourself those questions. Number 2, you plan what skills you're going to use, what strategies you're going to use. Number 3, you need to carry out, which is an easier task. And finally, you need to check or you need to reflect and see what are different methods that work and don't work. All right. So please, you can download the printables. All right, which comes along in the email that I've sent out to you, which is in a PDF form. Print it out, go through it, and try to do it. In the next segment, I will touch in detail how can you go about understanding the problem. At this stage, I just want you to explore your ways of understanding the problem, and in the next video, I'll talk to you more about how you can use different strategies to help you understand the problem clearly. All right, so I'll talk to you again. I'll show to you a few more stuff in the next video. Thank you very much. I hope you have learned as much as I would like you to learn in this segment. If you have any questions, feel free to go to my Facebook page or go to my website drzam.com and you can ask me any questions. It is best that you do this as a family, and yeah, because it's delivered in your email. Feel free to look through the video while you're traveling, on the MRT, the bus, basically anywhere. It's mobile learning, it's learning anywhere. So I hope you will benefit from this free online course, and I'm here to help you, to help your child, and together we can feel, or rather we can become effective parents in helping our child with their primary math word problem. Thank you. So I'll talk to you again. Bye bye.